Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And well, She-Ra is trending today, but not for the reasons the fans would like it to be trending.
It's not for we want more She-Ra?
No. Noelle Stevenson did a oopsie. She made a racist joke or a slave joke, apparently, during a live stream, and now...
No, apparently, I saw the clip. She said she did it.
Yeah, and it's being called out even by news outlets like Newsweek. This isn't just confined to Twitter.
All the media is calling it out. Now, interestingly, people were like, well, you know, her panel of her writers were all mostly all light-skinned women, and we're like, no kidding! I wonder who called that out years ago?
You know, for all the shit that we get, and we have gotten over the last couple of years, I can tell you one of the things that we've been saying about, you know, shows like this is a lot of times we have people that are supposedly progressive and inclusive, and you look into it and it really is all lip service a lot of times. She-Ra, you know, we've joked before, now they can hire whoever they want to hire, but we're like, you know, they're a diverse room of mostly white writers.
Because I'm sorry, I've been saying it before too. And when Hollywood, what they were considering until this year, diversity was females and lesbians. That's pretty much what they meant by diversity. And now this year happened, and now, you know, now we have, you know, this whole push to exclude people based on race now, which, first, I want to go back before we even begin this. And this is something I know Kneon agrees with me on. I'm sorry, I am against racism, sexism, you know, any of that stuff of any kind. Meaning, I don't think it's fair to discriminate against somebody because they're not white. I don't believe it's fair to discriminate somebody because they are white. I don't think it matters what race you are, what gender you are, how you identify, you know, any of that stuff. What matters is who's best for the job. And by these pushes they do, what they're doing is it's actually backfiring and excluding people that should never have been excluded in the first place. And they're pushing for their version of diversity, which isn't really even real diversity. We're for 100% true diversity and equality. And by pushing these agendas, all they're doing is it's backfiring and hurting people that they claim they want to help. And that's a problem.
Yeah, see, where it becomes extra sticky is that She-Ra, it wasn't like we just put She-Ra out and it was what it was and she put the team together she wanted to put together. It was, She-Ra was marketed almost exclusively on its diversity.
Right, constantly.
We race swapped characters. We made skinny characters heavy. We made pretty much everybody LGBTQ
you know,
somehow.
Yeah, that's just it. I mean, even the characters, like if you have genders where, you know, Seahawk, for example, he's still a dude, but he's like a completely unlikable dude. He just sings songs now as an idiot because he was left, you know, his hair was removed. It's no longer red. Yeah. What is it with, we can't have any gingers in the show, but Noelle, even though her hair isn't really that red, honestly.
Well, she certainly did haze people during
I talked about this.
A live stream, and look, you know, this isn't us like jumping up and down like, oh my God, did you see it?
We're not surprised.
We're not surprised. We weren't even going to cover it. Somebody wrote me last night, had a friend write me last night, asked me if I knew what was going on. I had no idea. It wasn't until we woke up this morning
and looked into it.
Yeah, and saw it was on freaking Newsweek.
Well, not just that. We're like, okay, now I'm going to say, and this might sound like I'm defending this person. I'm not. I'm just saying when you're put on the spot and you're on an event, sometimes you might slip and say something that you normally wouldn't say. However, in this case, it was clearly a joke they had behind the scenes that should never have existed, and I would never have made this joke to begin with. And it turned out it wasn't really her. I mean, she repeated the joke, but it wasn't her joke, but she still put it out there.
When you're I
just don't think she thinks she should censor herself because she thinks she's above it all. Because if you don't like her, you're racist and you're an Easterphobe.
Aren't we finding out? Now, this is what gets me. And I've been saying this since the beginning. You're talking to people who are moderate left-wingers. Okay, we're moderates. Everybody's like, you're the alt-right Yahtzees. No,
we're not.
We're actually not. But it does seem to be the case where the more somebody tells you they have to be, that they're good, the more that they could potentially be hiding. We're seeing people who are like very pro, now they're very pro like inclusivity, and then you look at them and you're like, oh, you didn't hire, you know, the right kind of people, or your black employees aren't being treated well.
We pointed out immediately that when she had her picture of her writer's room, it was all light-skinned women. And we're like, wait a minute, that's not our diverse room. It's all the same. I mean, it's like, that's not diversity.
And Chuck Austin, who's getting coffee because he's not allowed to be in the picture.
I think what happens, yeah, I know. What happens is when you have a platform that supports you no matter what you say, what you do, you get this idea that I can say whatever the hell I want. You know, I can make whatever jokes, because as we're screaming about everybody who hates our idea of being racist and sexist and phobic, phobes-anists, you know, we think we're being elevated because, well, I'm just going to call you a phobinist and I'm still above you. And then you find out that, no, you're not. You can still be a dick.
I mean, we've got Rooster Teeth that was going on, talking about how progressive they are, basically how woke they are, and you're finding out
woke and progressive isn't the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing. But they're talking big because they're trying to deflect. A lot of times you find out that the working conditions are not good. And I'll tell you the truth. A lot of the people who came to us, and we had people come to us from Rooster Teeth, I would consider them progressive, and they were like, Rooster Teeth is outright toxic, and now they're making a big show about how they're going to purge toxic live streams and toxic content after Mika Burton comes out and says, yeah, you guys talk about inclusivity, but I was like the only black person here and you didn't defend me very well, did you?
Yeah.
You know, so we're going to see the facade, I guess, drop. Noelle Stevenson, you know, making a big deal over the last couple of weeks about going to, you know, protests and donating to Black Lives Matter. Now she is being roasted for making an off-color slavery joke during a live stream.
Yeah.
And it's in freaking Newsweek. Again, if this was just Twitter gossip, we wouldn't have bothered with it. But it's in Newsweek. It's on Meow. It's on comicbook.com. And this is part of a bigger discussion, and we'll talk more about this afterwards. But
what happened was they were on a Twitch stream, and they were, I guess, I'm assuming they were like, there was all the people that worked on the show, and
yeah, it was
they
like
were
a
asking,
Zoom room or something.
And they were asking questions and answering them, you know, to like, you know, to look, our fans who keep getting us trend. You know, I'm going to point this out too. It's easy to fake a trend on Twitter, for one, but two, the people behind us that keep it trending, I am pretty sure the people that are being in trouble right now, because, you know, they're the ones that are keeping it going, keeping themselves out there, trying to squat on the She-Ra thing forever. It's over. And now it's going to be definitely over.
Yeah, She-Ra's going to be extra canceled.
This is going to be, yeah. So, you know, they're desperately trying to get any attention they can to keep themselves in there. Well, anyway, they're doing this room, and they're asking questions. And then they were talking about Bo. Apparently, Bo had a bunch of brothers they wanted to put in there. But it was too expensive, which it would have been. And they were talking about how there was different brothers' names, and they had like a picture, I guess, with all these brothers on it. And one of the brothers was like Oboe, because he was musical. And one of them was, I forget what they said. There was like things that rhymed with Bo. And then they said about, well, what, I guess the joke was, what would the brother be who worked in the fields? And the one guy said, so, like S-O-W. And I'm like, why would they even joke about that? Who was his black brother worked in the fields in the first place behind the scenes? I mean, I never would have made that joke. I mean, we get in trouble. We make off-color jokes. Oops, I'm canceled now for saying off-color. But, you know, it's like, but we still, there's things lines we will not cross here. And like, we'll make, you know, perfect jokes, but we won't make a joke like that. I mean, it's obviously racist. Why would you even joke about that? And it was behind the scenes. No one would know about it. Okay, maybe it was an internal joke no one would know about. But then obviously you don't have any people on your staff that would be offended by that, which is another worrisome issue. But you go out and announce it on a Twitch stream.
Yeah, I wouldn't be bragging about that, especially given the audience. Because, you know, when you're courting an audience of progressives who are all about diversity and inclusion, and you're out there, you know, raising money for Black Lives Matter and attending protests and posting about it every damn day, to make a joke like that to that audience, come on.
I know, it wasn't smart.
It wasn't a smart move.
I just can't believe that they made this joke behind the scenes anyway, because I've been like, what?
Well, anytime they, look, I'm going to be honest, anytime they let these people off the leash, the people working on She-Ra, they say something stupid. I mean, I'm still mad about Marcus Scribner throwing shade at the deceased voice actor of the original Bo, and throwing all kinds of shade at the original
like I said,
show.
They had this sense of arrogance and superiority they have been having, because they just basically, anybody who doesn't agree with them, they just sick everybody on them, saying they're some phobes, and you know, and their excuses always are, the old show was campy, the old show had bad voice acting, the old show was made to sell toys. Well, at least the old show had an audience and could sell toys. They at least had that over you. And it's like they keep resting on this platform of, we're the true progressives and diverse people, and if you don't like anything about the show, even if it's a legitimate reason, like, I don't like this costume or I don't like whatever, it's obviously because you are a terrible alt-right person who is an istinophobe. That has been the even the marketing platform, the PR for this has been the same thing. They have gone out attacking fans of the old show since day one, that if you don't like this new show, it's because you're some kind of Neanderthal incel moron who just, wants to fap to She-Ra. And, we've pointed out since day one about the lack of diversity in the show, how it's stereotypes. I mean, Frosta has ice powers, so they made her an Eskimo girl. I mean, come on. It's stereotyped the entire thing. Then you have, like what you said, Marcus Scribner throwing shade at the voice actor who passed away.
Yeah.
When we had one of the real fathers of She-Ra pass away, they didn't even mention him until they could use it as a marketing tactic. Okay?
Yeah, Larry DiTillio died during, I think it was Emerald City Comic Con, when they were doing... Before
the panel, they had time to mention it.
Yeah, and they never mentioned it. They never said, "Oh my God, I just got a text that Larry DiTillio died." They probably had to Google Larry DiTillio to find out who the fuck he actually was.
Because they keep saying she was the mother of She-Ra. So it's like, first of all, no one's above saying something stupid. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
people do it all the time.
They do it all the time. I mean, yeah, I know we do it too. No one's above that. I mean, people say stupid things sometimes, but I honestly think they're in a place of arrogance. So they think that they're above it all and they're beyond reproach because they're the progressives. They're the ones out there getting awards and all this stuff, and they have this posse to defend them, that they just made this joke and didn't think anything of it. She actually said, "I didn't think it would offend people." So,
okay, I'm trying to process this. I'm like, what your audience is like. You know how easily triggered some of the people who watch She-Ra is like.
It was pretty bad. It wasn't.
It wasn't just like look, if she said "so was a farmer."
Or did she? Yeah, or she just or just was rhyming. Oh, so no.
But she specifically said "so worked in the fields."
They said which one worked in the field, whatever.
And he's black because Bo's black. His brothers are black. I mean, so they have another brother called Ono who says stuff that they shouldn't say.
Well, we don't know his brothers are all black because he could be. He's
that's true.
Yeah.
That's
true. His mother. Didn't he have his mom and mom passed away? Yeah. So unless he has the dad.
I don't know. I don't have a chart in front of me. I don't know. I don't care.
But the fact that Bo is not white, and the fact that that the assumption would be his brothers would be like him, and then they made the joke they made. It's just like I mean, I can't even see how it's funny. Like, I'm trying to feel like sometimes you make a joke that, they used to have these jokes like, these religion jokes or race jokes or whatever that were funny jokes. People didn't get as offended by everything back then. This wasn't even funny.
If Noelle Stevenson was an edgelord, nobody would give a shit. But again, it's the fact that she is being marketed as a progressive, diverse creator, that's friendly to progressive, diverse peoples. And she makes a joke like that in a live stream that's rankling.
But if she was all about diversity, how come we called this before? Her writer's room was so light-skinned.
Well,
and all women.
That is a bigger conversation because we talked about this. Now I know She-Ra is a darling of the women in animation, as I understand it. And we have
not heard anything good about women in animation.
I'll be completely honest. And look, I feel like this isn't our fight. I am not a woman, a diverse woman in animation myself.
I am going to be a woman in animation. I'm just not going to be. I'm not diverse unless you count red hair as being diverse.
It's becoming rarer and rarer, isn't it? But anyway, we've had multiple people over the last couple of years since we started this channel come to us and say women in animation is a sham, and a lot of people who have come to us are not white.
I say everyone who's come to us about it.
Pretty much, yeah. We just never had enough to go on. Again, it felt like it wasn't really our place. We don't have personal experience with it. And given who we are, given that there are a lot of people out there who don't like the things that we have to say.
Yeah.
Hi, Kevin Smith.
We called this stuff out. I am still standing by that because they put a thing saying the other day that Netflix is making the calls on it, so we know how that's going to go.
Oh,
and
God,
they're still saying the show is about Tila in the write-up. Anyway.
I hope it's good. I hope it's good.
Continue.
I hope it's good. Anyway, given who we are, if we came out and said something about it, people would be like, "Oh my God, that's just a bunch of alt-right Nazis complaining about women."
We're not even right. Like, I'm on the right side.
Not even right. It doesn't
take that how you want.
Yeah, there we go. We're not even right. Clownfish TV. We're not even right. Trademark. But yeah, so we've been talking to some animators. We pointed out one instance that was going around Twitter of a young animator who was told that studios are very hesitant to pick up quote-unquote diverse shows now because of huge backfires like High Guardian Spice.
I think She-Ra's playing into it too.
I think She-Ra is going to play into it because not only is Mattel, I mean, let's look at the whole enchilada here, right? Let's look at the whole picture.
You should say taco. It's more fitting for the situation.
Let's look at the taco.
Yes.
The taco's been dropped. She-Ra, they got it over and done with. 5 seasons in like 2 years. Okay? And as soon as the
seasons, we're talking like 8 to
Netflix
13
seasons,
episodes.
Netflix
not like a real
seasons,
season.
like
Anyway.
6 episodes or whatever. But they basically got the whole show out of the way in the course of less than 2 years. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're talking from like November 2018 to what, last month or whenever the last season dropped.
It wasn't even 2 years.
It wasn't even 2 years. They were trying to push this thing out as fast as possible. Why? I think it's not selling toys. I think Mattel wanted to take control of He-Man and She-Ra again.
I don't think it was getting the views they keep claiming that
No.
you've never seen numbers on.
So they just wanted to kind of get it over with and move on to classic He-Man, classic She-Ra, which we see Mattel is doubling down on now. And you have to be, these studios have to be looking at this like, man, maybe we really backed the wrong horse on this between this and High Guardian Spice. Now we got Noelle Stevenson out there, supposed to be a progressive woke creator, and she's making slavery jokes on a live stream. Like, what the hell did we do? Anyway, this young animator, Sarah, who I'm really shocked that Anime News Network quoted us, but she was tweeting about how, they wouldn't even look at her show.
She tweeted at us, too.
She tweeted at us, yeah. But
and her stuff's really good.
It was really good. She had a pitch for a show that looked really good. It had kind of the Avatar core vibe to it. But it didn't look what I consider to be like the Tumblr style.
It looked expensive.
It looked very expensive, but it looked very good.
It looked very good.
I would, if I were flipping through the channels, I would have stopped on that and been like, man, this actually looks pretty good. It was a good looking show that just happened to have mostly brown skinned people in it. Avatar didn't have any white people in it.
Yeah, and the fact that most people were surprised when they hear that and they think about it and it's true shows you how well done the show was, because you were caring about the characters. You didn't care. You could relate to the characters and saw them as yourselves. You didn't care what color they were. That's a good show, people. Those are good characters.
So what is going to happen because of this? And she's 100% right. And it's ironic that this happened a couple days before Noelle Stevenson made an oopsie, is that these studios might be less inclined to take chances on quote-unquote diverse creators, because women in animation and studios out in California, they seem to be mostly, their definition of diversity is a room full of
women and lesbians.
Yeah, women and lesbians. I mean, that's diversity as far as
LGBTQ is what they consider diversity.
Yeah, but she's 100% right in the fact that you're not seeing a lot of dark-skinned creators. And not that anyone should be like hired specifically because of skin color, but the fact that they're actively being passed over because of mistakes by white women.
Yeah, it's crap. Same thing here with we're at the voice acting too now. You have to only stay in your lane, and all it's going to do is hurt people that were given roles that because they were the best choice. It didn't matter what color you were, and that's what's going to happen here. There are some incredibly talented storytellers, artists, whatever, out there that aren't the diversity that these people are claiming. There are people want or have been sticking to, and they're not given the chances they deserve. And like I said, we believe in true diversity. We believe in true equality, where the best person should be given the job. The best things should be picked up, and it should be based on skill and talent, and and you should include everyone. I mean, everybody should get the equal chance, equal chances. Equal chance.
Now, that doesn't mean that you hire people specifically based on their skin color,
or you ban people based on their skin color,
right? But everybody should have the same opportunity to pitch shows. And we know how locked down the animation industry is in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. That it's who you know. And I speculate what probably happens is you get one or two people in who are very similar in their ideology, similar, in other ways, and then they just get their friends in, and the next thing you know, everybody's basically the same.
But that they actually posted it as their diverse writers' room, and it was all women.
Yeah, it's all, and
they're all light-skinned women.
Well,
lighter skinned.
Even High Guardian Spice, you look at the writers' room, and they have Ray Rodriguez, who's a showrunner, who's trans, I believe. But you look at the other writers, and they all look very similar.
Yep.
It's basically Tumblr in a room.
Yep.
Creating a fanfic and costing these studios millions and millions of dollars. And now High Guardian Spice is in limbo. We don't even know where it is. Who the hell knows?
Because of the backlash for things like She-Ra and Hungry Spice and things like that, it's coming out that people that are truly diverse, that might have good ideas, aren't getting the same opportunities other people are because of backlash, because the takeaway from the situation wasn't the correct takeaway from the situation.
Right. So here, she did apologize. Now, here's the thing. Will the apology be enough?
No.
Because, you know...
Never's enough. You'll learn this, Noelle.
You're going to be on the receiving end of things that, frankly, I'm going to be honest. We've watched her off and on for years on Twitter.
I'm going to say, I've called it before, guys. When she got her publishing deal, her one account disappeared and another account suddenly appeared called Ginger Hazing. And when the Ginger Hazing account appeared, one, it came with a lot of subs all of a sudden, or followers all of a sudden. But beyond that, she was known for going around and picking fights with dudes that weren't even talking to her. She would go after dudes who weren't even talking to her just to learn them and be like, ha, 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 ha. And did she delete those tweets? I think a lot of them
I think she deleted
them.
Yeah,
but that's why she was calling herself Ginger Hazing.
Yeah, I know you used to. I mean, she was young. She was
so mad.
She was in her early 20s, but you would like follow her. You're like, oh my God, why is she picking fights with people?
I unfollowed her because she was picking fights with people constantly. I'm aware, and I know there's situations where she gets credit for things that she might not necessarily have been the only person that should have credit for. She's taking credit for like an entire table. Well, she didn't correct. She didn't by omission. People were like, oh wow, look at all the Eisners you won, but it was for the entire team, and she didn't correct that. So a lot of people think that she won all of them and things like that. And I was like, wow, that put me off like a long time ago. So when I saw she was running She-Ra, my first words were, oh shit, for a good reason.
Yeah, she was, Geeky was, and literally you could see the joy disappear from her face as she's reading the article. She's like, oh my God, they're bringing She-Ra back. And I think Geeky's thinking it's going to be like 2002 He-Man.
That's what I thought.
But with She-Ra, and she's like, yes, this is awesome. And then as she gets down a couple paragraphs into it, she's like, literally, I was there. She's like, oh shit. I'm like, what? She's like, look who's running it. And I'm like, oh my God, Noelle Stevenson. We know exactly.
It was exactly what we thought it would be.
Exactly what the show is going to be. It's going to be Tumblr. And we knew it was over. As soon as they announced that Noelle Stevenson was attached, it was like, they're going to turn She-Ra into Tumblr.
Which we've said repeatedly on this channel. This is no new news here.
No,
we're just explaining to anybody who's new why, But she went around, kind of harassing people before. Like they wouldn't even be talking to her. They even said, I wasn't even talking to you. It didn't matter. She would make it her job to go out and champion, and it was always like attacking men. So,
I'm going to be completely honest, and this is coming from an old guy. I think it's a case of too much too soon.
Yeah, I think that she thought she was above it. Like, she's never going to be counted. She's the voice of diversity. Everybody worships her. She can say whatever the hell she wants. Because, I don't think anybody would have thought that was a good idea to say that. I mean, it could have been nerves, too. But she's in front of people all the time.
Yeah, I think I think what we're going to see now is we're going to see a lot of cases of too much too soon. We're seeing this with comics. We're seeing it with animation. We're seeing that a lot of people were handed massive platforms based on their social media, which might have actually been built off of.
You can cheat that, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, so here we are. We've got Noelle Stevenson. She's got Black Lives Matter, the hashtag in her bio, and she's being called out for making a slavery joke during a live stream. And
now people are defending her. They're like, well, she didn't make the joke. Somebody else did. That's true. But she repeated it and thought it was funny.
Yeah, so here's her apology. And look, people fuck up all the time. People fuck up all the time. Now, the question is, the audience she's cultivated, will they accept her apology or is she going to be canceled?
Well, it wouldn't be right if they did accept it. They won't accept anybody else's apology.
That is true. So we'll see. But she said, hey, everyone, I made a very careless statement in today's stream that hurt a lot of black fans and fans of color. The implications did not occur to me.
How could it not occur? Okay.
So who works in the fields?
How did that not occur to you?
The implications did not occur to me, and that lapse in judgment is fully 100% on me. At least she's owning it.
I will give her credit that. She'll own this one. Didn't own other things.
I apologize. Well, it's because Newsweek picked it up.
Yeah, she didn't own the fact that she didn't herself solely invent Lumberjanes and that they weren't all her Eisners. She isn't owning up to the fact that she was going around ginger hazing people on Twitter. But, okay, this one she owned up to.
Participating or at least standing by and watching, her production team or marketing people take a steaming shit on classic She-Ra fans. Again,
watching the fans attack that one young artist because she did a classic art piece and then
she did not intervene in that, did she?
And people tagged her in. She still didn't do anything to stop it.
Yeah, her fans. And again, look, you can't control her fans. We've got people say things. The Watch channel that that I would never say I wouldn't condone. But
we try to if we see something like that, we will say no, we don't agree with that.
We'll be like, do not do not harass people on our behalf. Do not go tagging people in and saying this from Clownfish TV, because we try to be somewhat careful in what we say, but you know,
try to be fair.
Try to be fair. I apologize wholeheartedly, and I'm sorry for the hurt caused and the trust loss. I take responsibility of creating a safe and positive space for fans very seriously, and I've failed in that today. Thank you for making your voices heard. I will be rededicating myself to examining my language and behavior so that this failure will never be repeated.
Please don't cancel She-Ra so I don't get my other seasons and my movie and everything else I'm angling for.
Yeah, for white and non-black fans, remember, I do not need defending, and do not harass or add emotional labor to those hurt by this. And people are basically like, you know, it's frustrating as a person of color to see white people get all bent out of shape about this. Other people are like, stop making us try to sympathize with Hordak. We have diversify your crew. Diversify your team. If slavery is part of your inside jokes, I fear what else you'll have to say.
It was an inside joke, and that's basically like, we shouldn't have said it. It's like, well, you shouldn't have made the joke, is the thing.
Yep, I'm pretty floored this came from you. Incredibly disappointing. Again, when you...
I'm not. So.
The thing here is, when people say stupid stuff all the time, but when your platform is built on diversity and inclusion, and as constantly a marketing point for you, like, we are the diverse, inclusive creative team working on a diverse and inclusive show, but hey, first chance we get on a live stream, we're gonna make a slavery joke.
No, they made the joke behind the scenes when they were making the show, and then she slipped up and said the joke publicly. That's kind of even worse, because it was like you're trying to hide it. And the thing is, these people that they go by this whole we're accepting or inclusive, but they were horrible to the original fans. They've risen on a platform of anybody who doesn't agree or like what they do. There's something wrong with them. They're ists, they're phobes. There's some kind of tragic, group of people who are horrible and they don't believe in diversity, even when a lot of people believe in diversity. That has been their platform. That has been their argument the entire time. But they're making inside jokes about slavery?
Yeah.
That's what I'm pissed about.
And she's not wrong. She's probably like, well, what else are you saying that's not
being told?
If you didn't feel like you had to censor that, what else is being said? But she's like, because again, you built this audience up believing that you were diverse and inclusive. 135 likes. Other people are like,
well, sometimes who goes around making slavery jokes?
Yeah, right.
Even behind the scenes.
Somebody's got, I stand with Noelle. It's only got 2 likes, but this one, things like this are going to continue to happen until your crew has more diversity besides LGB. Uplifting by POC creators is where the real change starts. And again, this is something that young animators are pointing correctly, I believe, pointing out that diversity doesn't just mean a bunch of LGBTQ. It
doesn't just mean, bi POC creators either.
It means everybody has a chance. Everybody has a chance. Now, that doesn't mean everybody gets picked up.
No, and you shouldn't just because, I should get picked up because I am, I'm this or that. No, I shouldn't get picked up just because I'm white or I'm a redhead. I shouldn't get picked up for those reasons, or I'm a woman. That's not enough reason for something to get picked up. If it's good, it should get picked up. If I'm using these reasons as why I should be the one that gets in charge, that's not fair, nor is it valid.
So this is interesting. There must have been other things going on, because safe space, but you won't address the other issues in that panel. I also can't believe you got as far as drawing that, and not at any point did you think, maybe I kind of effed up. I've been watching your growth since Nimona as a webcomic. I can't believe you.
Yeah, we'll have to watch the rest of the panel. Apparently other things are said.
You or any other creator with a platform, you're not exempt from checking in with a sensitivity consultant. So now they're asking Noelle Stevenson, who has hashtag Black Lives Matter in her bio, who has built a platform on being diverse and inclusive, to go get a sensitivity reader.
But this isn't this isn't about reading what you're going. This was off the cuff live something. You can't. What are you supposed to do? Bleep her out? Like have a 10-second delay and bleep it? You can't really do that here.
Wow.
I'm not trying to defend her, but you really couldn't have done that here.
Katra Avatar. Diversify your team so things like this don't happen again. I don't even have words to describe how horrible your inside jokes are.
Poor taste. It really was.
It scares me to think about what else you all joke about. I'm extreme. So the Katra avatars are turning on Noelle Stevenson.
So yeah, it's getting bad. She-Ra's trending. I didn't even look at that. Other things are trending. Now Infinity Train's trending.
Oh God, what's wrong with Infinity Train?
It's probably like we need to get more of this and less of this, probably. Maybe. But at the end of the day, was it smart? She said it. No. Do I think it was malicious? not that she said it, but I still can't wrap my head around why they'd even make a joke like that behind the scenes. It's a little concerning. I mean, we would never make a joke like that, let alone tell people we made a joke like that.
No, our jokes would be funny.
Not just that. Our jokes would probably involve pervy things anyway.
Lots of dick jokes.
Probably. That's where we go, apparently. But, it's just, she did apologize, but as we know, apologies don't matter. I just find it ironic, I guess, because it's like after all the crap, people just said, I don't like She-Ra's new look, and the media, the marketing, the PR, the actual people on the show would go out and just harass people for not liking it, calling them all kinds of names, throwing insults, and those people were supposed to just take it because they were learned, and then they turn around and make a joke like this after all the crap they threw at everybody else. It's just what the hell. Now, she did apologize. Whether it's accepted or not, it's up to you. I just find it funny because usually when you apologize, you don't get it doesn't get accepted.
Yeah, so we'll see how this goes.
I don't think it was intentional, but the joke's never been made even behind the scenes. Why you'd say it out loud? I have no idea. I cannot wrap my head around this.
Because this is we're gonna find this out.
Entitlement?
It's immunity. They
think they have immunity.
They think they have immunity. So look, guys. If She-Ra wasn't completely canceled before, which I'm telling you, it is because Mattel's like, it doesn't sell toys. It's done. We're bringing He-Man in. It's definitely canceled now because it's definitely canceled now, and now the fans might not even support her to bring it back because they might be looking at her like, So I don't know. People screw up all the time.
Yeah, they mess up.
But
she messes up a lot though. When you look at her past history too.
This is people. This is how it is. We keep telling you. It's like a lot of people who talk publicly about how good they are. A lot of times it's just a cover. Don't tell people that you're a good person. Show that you're a good person.
Right.
Right? It's as simple as that, right?
Yes.
All right, we gotta wrap it up?
Yeah.
Okay, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.
Bye.